quote, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Only 10% what happens. 90% is what? How you respond, how you react. Same situation, an optimist responds positively, a pessimist responds negatively. Situation is the same, depends on your attitude. Let us go to what is today's editorial about. It is about a particular scheme. And this scheme is providing free rides to a lot of people, downtrodden people. And the editorial says, scheme is good, but the timing is wrong. Why is the timing wrong? Because of elections. At the time of elections, the scheme has been announced. So it looks like there is some ulterior motive. Based on that, it is not the right timing. That is a stand taken by the editorial. We'll look at the tone of the editorial. Is audio clear? Please respond. Last rows. Tone of the editorial. The tone of the editorial is critical and skeptical. Underline the word skeptical. Skeptic means what? Doubt. Write the meaning, doubt. So the intention is doubtful. Idea is good, but timing is not correct. We'll go to the vocabulary. The very first word, rally. A rally goes with elections time, parties take out a rally, part of speech noun, a public meeting of a large group of people. I'm sure you all know the word rally. Simple word. Vulnerable, we have got many a time, put the letter F, adjective. Exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, either physically or emotionally. To be in a weak situation where someone can take advantage. Vulnerable. Entitlement, we have got for the first time, part of speech noun. The fact of having a right to something. Entitled. Write the word form entitled. You're entitled to something or for something means you have the right for something. Next one is an idiomatic expression, an important one, in vogue. There are two words. First, I will explain this one. In vogue means a fashion or general liking. But please write temporary fashion. Temporary. Here you have to write two words. First one you write vague. Vague means what? Not clear. You all know that word. But what is the word used in the editorial? Vogue. That goes with fashion industry. Right now in fashion, popular. But sometimes what happens, in vogue means very popular. Something is in vogue. Something is very popular right now. But sometimes what happens, a particular style, people are crazy about that. In the past, all the boys would grow hair, long hair. Remember? Dhoni style. Temporary fashion like that, we use one more word. Write the word F-A-D. Fad. Fad means temporary fashion, temporary, short-lived. Short-lived fashion. Boys would also have earrings. That was a fad. And also hair like spikes. That was a fad. Short-lived. In vogue is a standard expression. Nomenclature goes with the science, especially biology, zoology. And there's one expression you have to write. Please write binomial. Have you heard of this? Binomial nomenclature. Bi means a two. Binomial nomenclature means two names. Now we have added the third one. Every animal, every plant has two names. One represents a genus. The other one represents the species. So two, binomial. What is the scientific name of man? Homo represents the genus. Sapiens represents the Species, Homo sapiens. Subspecies, again sapiens. Homo sapiens, sapiens is a scientific name of man. Anyhow, that is science. We'll go back to the editorial. On the flip side, a standard expression, idiom, an opposite or unattractive result of a popular or attractive action. You try to do something popular, something negative happens. Then you say, on the flip side. Simply write on the negative side. On the negative side. Lapse, an important word we have got a few times. Part of speech noun. A brief or temporary failure of concentration, memory, or judgment. Write one sentence. There was a lapse. There was a lapse on my part or on the part of the management. It was a lapse on my part. It was a lapse on the management's part. Means what? Management forgot something. Have you got the meaning? To forget something important. We'll go to the next word. What is the next word here? A reap goes with crops, agriculture. To get something, usually something good. Reap the harvest, write the combination. Generally we say, reap the harvest. When you grow plants, the crop, you reap the harvest. You got the meaning? Next one, dividends. I'm sure you all know this. Part of speech noun, dividend refers to a reward, cash, or otherwise that a company gives to its shareholders. But here it does not go with that meaning. Simply write, underline the word reward. Only a reward. That is a dividend. Distress we have got many a time. Part of speech noun, extreme anxiety, sorrow, or pain. COVID-19, migrant workers, they were in distress. They got stranded, they suffered a lot. What is the last word here? Amiss, part of speech adjective, not right, not suitable, or not as expected. A negative word. Generally we say something went amiss, means something went wrong. Have you got the meaning? Now we'll go to the editorial. As I said, this is all about a particular program providing free rice to downtrodden people, and the timing is not the correct timing. Based on that, the editorial says, objective is good, scheme is good, a noble scheme, but timing is wrong. How does it start? Poll timing. Poll timing means what? Election time. On the extension of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. That is the name of the scheme. But what is the main idea of this editorial? The extension of free rice should not have been announced at a rally. That is not the place to announce, that is not the time to announce. So that is the main idea. Should not have been announced. Active voice or passive voice? Please write passive voice. There's something you have to recollect and learn here. All of you please write should plus, please write quickly. Should plus have plus verb, past participle form. And this is used to express, there are two dimensions. One, unfulfilled duty or a neglected action. Underline unfulfilled duty means workplace. Neglected action, personal life. When I give the examples, you understand. Imagine the manager gave you some work, you did not do the work, and morning he called and blasted you. Then you feel bad, obviously. Your friend asks, what happened? You look so upset. Then you say, the manager scolded me. Why? He gave some important work I did not do. What will your friend say? You should have done the work. Or an important meeting you did not attend. The management gave a memo. You felt bad, your friend asked, why are you upset? There was an important meeting, I did not attend the meeting. So they gave a memo. What will your colleagues say? You should have attended. Have you got it? These two go with workplace, unfulfilled duty. What is the second dimension here? Neglected action. Imagine yesterday was the last day to pay the electricity bill. I forgot. Today, no power. You're not comfortable. You ask me, sir, what happened? I say, I forgot to pay the bill. What will you say? You should have paid the bill. Now it looks like we have a cut. The timing. So you should have paid the bill. Here it has been used in the negative form. Shouldn't have been announced. Should have announced. What is the opposite? Shouldn't have been announced. I hope you got the meaning of this sentence. That is the main idea. The union government's move to extend the free food grains scheme for the next 5 years is welcome. That's a very good idea. So editorial admits it is welcome, as it will continue to provide food security to large sections of vulnerable people. Who are vulnerable people? Please write 3 expressions quickly. First you write downtrodden people. Downtrodden people. Then you write backward communities. Downtrodden, Trodden, downtrodden people, backward communities, underprivileged people. One more expression you have to know, marginalized people. Marginalized people. They're not part of the mainstream. They're very backward, downtrodden. They don't have food also, extreme poverty, destitutes in a way. Obviously, when you provide food grains, how many kilos? Have you copied all these words? 5 kilos, I suppose. That is a good thing. So it talks about the same. For the next 5 years is welcome, as it will continue to provide food security to large sections of vulnerable people. What is this based on? Based on National Food Security Act, NFSA, entitlements, the scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, all the letters for those words, benefits about 80.5 crore people. What is the population of India? It is more than half, I suppose. Has it touched 150? You guys have to tell me. What is the current population of India? 150 crore, has it touched? Or about to touch? About to touch. So 80.4, is it more than half or not? More than half. If it is 150, obviously more than half. So it is going to benefits about 80.4 crore people under the categories of Antodaya Anna Yojana, poorest of the poor. So what are the people we are talking about? Poorest of the poor. You write one or two words based on the word poor. First you write the word poverty. That means that they are languishing in extreme poverty. Languish means suffer. Also write the word penury. Also write the word destitutes. I have used one verb, languish, an important word. Not because I used, they have given many a time in the exam. So languish in poverty means what? Suffer in poverty. Poverty, penury, very poor. And those persons who suffer in penury or poverty are known as what? Destitutes. In fact, Mother Teresa got the Nobel Prize for her work for contribution towards the destitutes in and around Calcutta city. It talks about helping those people, poorest of the poor, and priority households. Besides those people, it looks like priority households. They will continue to receive, which tense is this? Future tense. They will continue to receive 5 kg of rice or wheat or coarse grains. Underline the word coarse. Coarse means a rough. Rough. Usually it goes with the cloth I gave this morning. Coarse grains, a person every month. A person every month, 5 kgs of any of these. The provision of free food grains was introduced at the All India level during the COVID-19 pandemic. When was this scheme introduced? at the time of the pandemic at all India level. Though, underline the word though. Though is a contrasting word or not? Make a note, contrasting word. Though, in vogue in states such as Tamil Nadu. Introduced at the national level during the COVID-19, but already popular in states like Tamil Nadu. Already they have been doing for quite some time. In vogue means what? Popular. At the time, the entitlements of NFSA beneficiaries were doubled. Underline were doubled. Which tense is that? Past tense, active voice or passive voice? And the nomenclature of PMGKAY was affixed. Underline the word affixed. Means fixed. Same meaning. Form is different. Between April 2020 and December 2022, 1,015 lakh tons were distributed at a subsidy of 3.45 lakh crore. So this goes with the government scheme, how much subsidy. At the end of 2022, the center announced the free grains under the normal entitlements to states and union territories for a year while discontinuing the enhanced entitlement. They discontinued something and introduced something else. I hope you got the meaning of that. The second part talks about the negative aspects or the negative dimensions. This is an important expression. On the flip side means what? On the negative side, the way in which the latest move is sought to be implemented raises questions. The latest move is sought to be implemented. Active voice or passive voice? Passive voice. Make a note. Sought to be implemented. Raises questions. Again, you have to underline the verb. Which verb? Raise, recollect, rise, raise. Why? At an election rally last week in Durg, Chhattisgarh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi made the announcement, which should be viewed as a violation of the Model Code of Conduct, as Mr. Modi used his official position to talk about the extension of the scheme. When you go for election campaign, you cannot announce any schemes because you're the present incumbent prime minister. Then you announce a scheme, it is like violation of the code of conduct that goes with elections. The sentence talks about that. In a way, he violated the code of conduct and he shouldn't have announced that scheme at a particular rally. And that is not the time, that is not the place. And in a way, used his official position to talk about the extension of the scheme due to lapse at the end of next month. What do you understand? Underline the words due to lapse at the end of next month. What does it mean? At the end of next month, it is going to continue or going to stop? It is going to stop. Lapse means here due to lapse, about to lapse. Here due to means not the reason. About to. Due to lapse next month. There was no urgency on his part to have made the announcement then and in an election rally, especially when there was sufficient time to do so, even after the declaration of results scheduled for December 3rd. In a way, sentence says, again, the same idea is being reiterated. No need to be hasty, and that is not the time. He could have done it later, because time is there to announce a scheme. But he was rather hasty, the editorial opines. The purpose seems to have been to impress voters. So why did the Prime Minister do that? There was time, that is not the place, that was not the place, that was not the time. Why did he do that? That is $1 million question. To impress the voters, to get the political advantage. It talks about that. The purpose seems to have been, please write, non-finite verb. Seems is a main verb. To have been, non-finite verb, to impress voters and reap political dividends, gain political dividends. There is a view linking the PMGKAY's previous avatar to the Bharatiya Janata Party's victory in the 2022 Assembly election in Uttar Pradesh. So it looks like some sort of link between their victory in which state? UP, based on a similar scheme. Even the Congress, usually Congress does what? or any opposition party criticizes the party in power. Common sense. Based on that, the next sentence says, even the Congress, which criticized the announcement as an indication of the continuing economic distress and growing inequalities, now you're providing free rice. That means there is equality or inequality. Inequality. So if you look at it from one angle, you will point out it only shows that it only shows inequality. That means the country is not progressing. One view. And they forgot the other view. What is the other view? Not the right time and not the place to announce. This sentence talks about that. Even the Congress, which criticized the announcement as an indication of the continuing economic distress and growing inequalities, did not find anything amiss. Means what? Did not find anything wrong. But something is wrong. What is wrong here? Timing and place wrong. They did not focus on that. The scheme is meant for the entire country, not just the 5 states facing elections. They account for roughly 17% of the total beneficiaries. If you take the 5 states, I think elections are due. How many states? 5 states. So if they implement, and what is the percentage? 17% of the total beneficiaries. Now the editorial talks about the financial dimension. On the fiscal front, underline the phrase on the fiscal front. Means what? On the financial front, the extension may not cause serious problems as the food subsidy bill is about 7.5% of the revenue receipts of the union government. If at all they have to implement this scheme, what is the amount or what is the percentage of expenditure? Only 7.5%. That is negligible. It does not make a dent on the economy. On an average, the economic cost of rice and wheat grew by 5.7% annually over the last 7 years. Also, the extension will cost about 15,000 crore more each year. Talks about the financial aspects. 15,000 crore more each year, which is manageable, as I said. They can manage. However, governments, center and states should ensure the elimination of leakages in the public distribution system so that the benefits of the extension go to the deserving. Usually underline public distribution system, PDS. They are supposed to give all these to the poor people. But quite often what happens, the agents or those who are in charge of the PDS, they try to either hoard initially and divert. The deserving people don't get the food grains. They sell in the black market. Are you guys aware of that? Based on that, the editorial says that deserving people should get the food grains. Then it can be justified. This is all about the editorial. An important editorial, do remember, you may get in the exam as a passage. Anything related to government scheme, there is a possibility. We'll go to spot the errors. Read the first one. And tell me where the error is. Should not take this long. Which part? Third part. What is wrong with the third part? Have been or has been? Please correct it. Why should we use a singular verb here? What is the subject? Underline the word strip. Strip is the subject of the clause. After that, you have of 2.3 million people put in brackets a phrase. Ask yourself, that strip have been turned or has been turned? Has been turned. It is based on subject-verb agreement. Read the next one. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, at least 10,000 people, many of those women and children, have been killed in Israel's onslaught. Which part has an error? How many of you say there's an error in the third part? Raise your hands. Good. What is wrong with the third part? Here, many of those or many of them. Please write. Generally, we say some of them, many of them. We don't use those. We don't use the demonstrative adjective or demonstrative pronoun. We use them is what? Object form of a pronoun. Many of them, some of them, none of them, standard expressions. Go to the next one. Refugee camps, schools, hospitals, and ambulances are not being spared, which led to frantic calls from the UN Secretary General. You have to respond. Whatever you think, you say. If you look at me, I cannot guess. How many of you say, no error? Perfect, no error. The sentence is grammatically, contextually right. But which tense is this? What is the subject here? Underline refugee camps, schools, hospitals, and ambulances are not being spared. Right next to it, present continuous passive voice. They are not sparing these. These are not being spared. Present continuous passive voice, which led to frantic calls from the UN Secretary General. No problem. Read the next one. According to the UN, 89 UN aid workers are among those killed in Gaza in 4 weeks, the highest in any comparable period in the history of our organization. Second, what is wrong? Fourth part. Which part? What is wrong? In 4 weeks. What is wrong with that? According to the UN, anything wrong? 89 UN aid workers, anything wrong? It talks about present or past. Then will you say are or were? Here, that's what you were trying to tell. Were among. Already got killed, we cannot say are. Were among those killed. Go to the last one. But Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected calls for even a humanitarian pause, let alone a ceasefire. What? How many of you say no error? Answer is, you have something to say. Fourth part. What is wrong with the fourth part? Let alone. No, nothing wrong with that. Answer is no error. But usually we don't start with the word but sometimes you come across exceptions. But, pause. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected calls, nothing wrong with that, for even a humanitarian pause, let alone. Those who did not come yesterday, please underline let alone. Write the meaning. What does it mean here? Forget about. Forget about. Let alone a ceasefire. I will replace. He has rejected calls for even a humanitarian pause. Forget about ceasefire. Pause, not willing to accept. Then you cannot think of a ceasefire. Please go to the close test. A regular pattern, but to improve your contextual awareness, Israeli troops have now encircled Gaza city, a densely populated Hamas. You have to, okay. Hamas what? Stronghold. See, I don't expect the new students to respond immediately, but those who attended yesterday, they should respond because it's a familiar context. Already we spent time yesterday on this. Hamas stronghold and are involved in street battles with militants. The objective appears to be to topple the Hamas government, topple the government, a typical combination, kill its commanders, destroy its military infrastructure, and rescue the hostages. Which option is that? C. I'm telling the words, you can easily make a note. Rescue the hostages seized by Hamas on October 7th. In the past, Israel had taken quick victories against what? Conventional, means traditional armies in the region, but its track record in asymmetric wars. War, before that adjective, asymmetric. In asymmetric wars is mixed. It has lost at least 30 soldiers, and once the fighting enters Gaza city, it is expected to be bloodier. E is the answer. If Israel presses on, insists on, turning the rest of Gaza into an open prison on fire, it can have disastrous consequences. See, I'm not giving the explanation because we did it yesterday. No point in repeating. This exercise is only for those who attended yesterday to quickly understand which word goes with the blank. Go to the next exercise. What is this about? When we talk about effective English, we have two topics. What are the two topics? One is idioms, the other one is phrasal verbs. And the third one rarely touched, foreign words. What is the third one? Today, all these words come under the third category, foreign words. Not easy. If you get all the five, great. Today is your day, celebrate. What is the first one? Alma mater. How many of you say B? B is the answer. Institution where one studied. When you refer to the school or college where you studied, you say, that is my alma mater. Means what? I studied there. So what is the first one? Option number B. Generally we say extempore, but actually it is extempore. It goes with presentation, speech. So what does it mean? Option number C, without any preparation. I ask you, please come and give a presentation. You come and give a presentation. What is that presentation called? Extempore. But generally we say extempore, spontaneous. Lingua franca, common language. Oh, very good. What is a lingua franca in our country? English, obviously. English is a link language. Also write the word link language. Lingua franca also means link language. Between if you take people of different states, what is the common or link language? English. English is known as lingua franca in our country. Magnum opus, masterpiece. What is our option number here? E. Modus operandi. Whenever police catch a thief or a gang, they have a press meet. Then they talk about modus operandi of that particular gang. Means what? How they do the crime. Please write next to it, crime. It goes with crime. Method of killing someone, looting, goes more with crime and thieves. Who has got all the five correct? Very good, highly appreciable. Others, nothing to worry. These are not easy. The reason for bringing today bank exams are going in the direction of CAT exam. You all know CAT exam, common admission test. So there they ask quite often questions based on foreign expressions. And also some of you are preparing for SSC. SSC also they ask questions based on foreign words. That way they are important. Now let us go to questions based on the editorial to improve your comprehension skill. I'll read the first question. What is the main focus of the editorial regarding the extension of this scheme PMGKAY? It praises the governments. Say yes or no. It highlights the economic challenges posed by the extension. It raises questions about the timing and political motivations behind the announcement. Yes. So what is the answer here? Third option. According to the editorial, how many people benefit from the PMGKAY under the National Food Security Act? 80.4 crore people. Third option is the answer. What is the editorial's opinion about the way the announcement was made at an election rally by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? It supports the idea of announcing? No. It believes the announcement was made with urgency and necessity. It criticizes the announcement as a violation of the Model Code of Conduct. Answer is the third option, C. How does the editorial view the cost of extending the PMGKAY on the fiscal front or financial front? Suggests that the extension will lead to a significant financial burden? No. It considers the cost manageable and not a significant problem? Yes. So what is the answer here? B. In the editorial, you see the word manageable, not a big deal. Only 4 questions. We'll go to the words you got yesterday, 8th date. Cease fire, temporary suspension of fighting, or what is the word you have to remember? Truce, Truce. Ruthless. First you tell the part of speech, adjective. Every time I don't want to ask you, when I say the word, tell the part of speech, tell the meaning. Ruthless means what? Without any emotions, without any compassion. What is the word you have to recollect? Compassion. Compassion means what? Kind, without any of those. Aggressor, noun. Every time I don't want to ask meaning. As such, I have a bad throat, unnecessarily asking every word. Tell the part of speech, tell the noun. The country which starts attacking first in this context. The country which starts attacking first is known as aggressor. But generally, what is the adjective form? This is a noun. Adjective form, aggressive. Aggressive means what? Ready to attack. And it goes with animals, aggressive dog. It also goes with marketing, aggressive marketing. It goes with the business context. Onslaught, noun, Continuous attack. Onslaught means continuous attack, continuously bombarding someone or some country or some region. A rubble, noun, meaning piles of stones and bricks, whatever you get from a building. Frantic, adjective. What is the combination word? Call, frantic call, meaning full of fear or anxiety. You're anxious, worried, full of fear, then you make a frantic call. Hostage, stronghold. Stronghold means what? Part of speech, noun, stronghold of a particular party, a particular group. It means they're very strong in that place. The strength of someone, they're very strong in that particular region. Hostage, meaning one who has been seized or held under control. Seize, verb, meaning to grab using force or to take using force. Usually it goes with buildings or countries. Seize the fort. But in this context, people. Conventional, adjective. Traditional, one word, traditional. Reign, can be a noun, can be a verb. As a verb, what does it mean? Control. Reins, noun form, plural form, means leather straps used to control a horse. Preach, part of speech, verb, meaning to persuade someone to believe in a particular religion or belief, whatever, but it goes with religion. Teach goes with subject. Preach goes with religion. Rhetoric, part of speech, noun, meaning a writing, piece of writing or speech, more speech, that is used to persuade a lot of people. It goes with public speech. It goes with leaders. And we worked on these words yesterday, remember? Shall we touch or not? How many of you remember all these words? No need of part of speech. I'll read the word, you have to tell the meaning. Abate. Loud and clear. What is it? Spreading. Spreading or not spreading? Spreading. Abated. Spreading. Unabated. Without stopping, without... actually, abate means to bring down in intensity, or in a way, to reduce the intensity. Toxic. Noxious. Statutory. A written law brought out by a legislative body. Statute also you have to recollect. Threshold, peak. Environs, surroundings. Tinnitus, a ringing in the ear. Burgeoned, grown, developed into something. Haphazard, not systematic, irregular, random, ambient, surrounding, right? Mete out. To give or to punish, mete out something means to extend punishment to someone or something. Obscure. Two meanings. One meaning is what? Vague or not clear. The other meaning, not known to many people. Tide over. Support temporarily. An inflection point. Turning point. Compliance. Following rules and regulations. Comply. Flush out. To remove completely. Gamut. Arrange. Anthropogenic. Caused by human activities. Adverse. Negative. Disrupt. Interrupt. Stalemate. Deadlock. Allied. Merge. Merge. To bring together or merge. Concerted. Coordinated or together. Daunting. Wonderful. I really appreciate you're on the track. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. I think we are doing, what time is it? Anyhow, where is the coordinator? Off? Okay. All of you remember, just give me 2 minutes. Can you? Thank you. So I have been doing this for the last 4 months. I started